Today's video, we start with a hydration chart. Am I hydrated? Aim for clear urine at least 10 times a day. Eat a diet rich in fresh fruits and vegetables. Drink a quart of water before meals. Thank you.
Welcome to the video. We are here. This is Tour Down Under's coming up again, coming up real fast. We're going up Norton Summit here with durianrider. Just out for a few hours in the hills. And this video, the question I get now, I've been doing these Tour Down Under videos, get people hyped up for Tour Down Under again. The question is, what bike should I bring to the Tour Down Under, coming from Brisbane, coming from Sydney, coming from Auckland, coming from all over? What bike is best for Adelaide? Do I bring my gravel bike, my cross-country bike, my road bike, my Strava bike, my climbing bike, my aero bike, my crit bike, my road stage race bike, my CX bike? Which bike do I bring, Harley? I would say, if you're going to come to Down Under, I would bring a lightweight climbing bike. If you're going to be doing mostly road stuff, bring your lightweight climbing bike. I still ride my lightweight climbing bike on dirt, on gravel. You know, I ride on a single track sometimes, understanding the limitations there. But I would recommend having a lightweight bike. Here we see the Merida Sculptura. I've got one of those, and got Merida. I think it's Rowan Dennis in front of me there. Lightweight bikes, man. Lightweight bikes is where it's at. This day I was riding a road disc brake bike, and I was struggling a bit that day with breathing because of the cat allergy and all. And so when Merida, they were going, yeah, they were getting a bit of pace up Norton Summit. I remember one of the directors, he's like, he recognised who it was. He's like, drop the vegan. He's just having a bit of banter. But I was definitely, I was feeling it on the heavier bike, and my bike was about, so you see how fast we passed that rider then. So we're not just lazing around here. We're sort of, it's definitely a solid tempo. I was feeling it, and I had a bit of a cat breathing allergy, and I was wishing I was on a lighter bike. So I was on my giant Defy Disc Dura-Ace Di2 Zip 202 bike, which in my opinion is too heavy of a bike to be riding when you're on your limit, trying to keep up. So I would recommend go a lightweight climbing bike. All right, it's January. It rarely rains in January. You need every bit of gram on the hill as possible. So I'd recommend bring your lightest bike, bring your lightest wheels, and bring your lightest self. All right, just leave the heavy stuff at home. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion here. So I would be going with that. Otherwise, you're going to have some difficulties there keeping up when the pace goes down. If you're the strongest rider in the bunch, it won't be an issue if you're on disc brakes. But if you're if you're out there riding with the pros or whatever, then I think having a lightest possible bike is going to be advantageous for you. All right, it's going to be advantageous for you. So this day, I was hating it that I was on a heavy disc Dura-Ace Zip 202 bike. I wish I had a bike that was just a kilo lighter, because a kilo is night and day difference. It's night and day difference when you're on your limit. 1 kilo makes a huge difference, especially if your wheels, if your disc brakes are rubbing, ping, 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 ping. It definitely, takes the edge off. Extra few 4, 5, 10 watts. You notice it for sure. So I would recommend bring your lightest bike possible and bring easy gearing. I'd recommend, I did the video about it the other day, bring the 4630 chain rings on there, or at least a compact crank. Again, depends if you're going to be just a flat lander. A lot of people come to Tour Down Under and they maybe got Matt Lofty once and they just go up and down the Anzac Highway or up and down the beach road, and that's fine, it's great. But I say they probably do that because their gearing is standard gearing 5339, and so when it comes up to the hills, they really struggle. Maybe doing a bit of a low carb diet, not drinking enough water, and then they're just going to struggle on the hills. Their legs are going to be burning, and they're going to be in a 25 cassette they're putting on the front, and they're going to be really, they're going to be really hating it. They're going to be really, really hating it. So you see, Rowan Dennis doesn't like to wait at traffic lights. So he's itching to go, itching to get into TT mode. So I would recommend, lightweight bike, lightweight gears, lightweight wheels, and tyres. I would say the best tyres would probably be the GP4000s. They're pretty strong. They're not that strong when it comes to wire, a little bit of truck tyre wire. Otherwise, the GP4000 is a fantastic tyre for Adelaide. It handles a bit of light gravel, depends on how much you weigh. But otherwise, I just recommend the GP4000 is a good all-round tyre, very fast. It's a good Strava tyre, it's good for miles, it's got great grip. And Adelaide roads are very, very good You just got to be careful though. You got car doors, you've got gum nuts in the road, you've got maybe a bit of olives. It's olive season now, so the olives are dropping. There's a bit of olive oil on the road, literally. So you got to be careful with that. So the GP4000. What else can we cover? Sun protection on the arms. We mentioned it in the video. You can see this right here. It's got some bit of sun protection on his arms. Doesn't get too sunburnt on the old Sculptura. And that's who's that next to me in the pink? Is that Tori maybe? Not sure who that was next to me. Maybe it was Elena. But you definitely want to have, a bike that's going to not hold you back. Otherwise, you're going to be really struggling. You're going to be really struggling. And carbohydrate, make sure you don't leave home with an empty stomach. Make sure you have a decent carbohydrate-rich breakfast, very low in fat. The reason why we have it low in fat, we want to speed up the gastric emptying, so you want to have that into your muscles. You don't want to have it sitting in your gut. All right? You have too much fat with your carbs, have it sitting in your gut, and then you'll be able to breathe as well later on in the day. So low fat is where it's at, for sure. You want to have, for breakfast, I like to have just a tinned fruit or fresh fruit, chop it up, put it in a blender with some water, maybe 100, 200 grams of sugar, 5, 6, 7, 8 bananas, blend that up, guzzle it down. Or if I'm really pressed for time, I just stuff my pockets full of dates, pre-pitted dates, no seeds, otherwise you risk choking on the seed when you're riding along. So I just sort of pre-pit them and chuck them in the back of my jersey. And they're great because they might get sweaty and mushed up, but they don't go off. So they hold their form really good, and they just taste good when they're nice and warm. So that's a good one as well. Just lots of carbohydrates, lots of water. Drink enough water so you're pissing clear every 2 to 3 hours. What I noticed riding with the pros, and when I mean pro, I mean like professional level, world tour level. I don't mean like local pro who lives at home with mum and dad and is paid by mum and dad, which is totally fine. I mean pro as in like got a contract, paying off a house with your race winnings, etc. And what I've learned with training with thousands of pros is that they piss a lot. They piss a lot. They're always pissing every 2 or 3 hours, pissing clear as well. So I've just noticed that, people are like, what are you checking out people's urine stream? It's like, yeah, I do that. Yes, that's just part of being a coach. It's just part of what do you do. You got to be on top of hydration. You got to observe what's working, what's not. And you can sort of see here the cadence as well, very smooth. The guy on the right, sort of seat height seems a bit high, doesn't it? It's sort of different styles, different techniques, but everyone's spinning cadence when the cadence is going on. That's actually Elena on my right. I recognise the fork stickers. So, and whenever you're in a bunch as well, always have your head up. Don't be looking to the side, talking to the side, because, do that if you want to crash or cause a crash. Otherwise, have your head straight. You can have your mouth angled that way, but always have your eyes straight up the road, because if there's a chicken running out or a cat or someone hits the brakes or someone gets out their saddle and their back wheel kicks back at you, or car door flings open, you want to be seeing that. You want to be seeing that and have your hands near your brakes. So you can see the riders here. The rider on the right, he's got his hands near his brakes, and also the rider in front of us has his hands near the brakes as well. So it's just about being aware of what's in front of you at all times. And a lot of accidents happen because people aren't paying attention. They're not paying attention. Another big tip is don't try and keep up on the downhills if you're not that experienced, or maybe you don't know the roads that well. All right? I've seen horrific crashes. People have plates in their arms and legs, and I've seen people quit cycling. They've had such a horrific accident. I remember down Green Hill Road a few years back. Actually, it was 2002. A friend of mine, Marcus, he hit a telegraph pole, and that fucked him right up. So he never rode after that ever again. I hope he's riding now, but I haven't seen him for maybe 12, 15 years. So I'm not sure what happened to him. But I know he I saw him many years afterwards, and he never jumped back on the bike. He was just too scared. But he was at that stage of life where he was getting a bit gung-ho, and like, yeah, I can do a bit of racing. I'm in A grade, I'm in B grade. This is getting good, And that's like, the body ain't invincible. We're not designed to ride bikes. We're not designed to ride bikes at all. So cycling is a fantastic exercise because it's low impact. But at the same time, you can slam yourself in the back of a car or a stone wall, or have a crash because you're not paying attention, or you're going too fast. You're going beyond your skill set. Or maybe you're in your comfort zone, but a possum runs out or a squirrel runs out. There's a tinker, and then you come a clapper. So I always recommend pay attention. Don't go above your comfort zone on the downhills or the corners. And if you are willing to do that, then just be willing to go to hospital. Be willing to have plates in your arm for life, because that's the reality of it. That's just the reality of it. People are like, oh, better take a few risks. Then that's fine, as long as you're comfortable with having titanium pins or maybe lose a leg or an arm. You do that. If you're happy having pelvic rods in your pelvis just because you took some risks to go around the corner an extra couple seconds faster, then you do that, man. That's on you. For me, I'll get dropped in the downhill. I don't mind that. I don't have to. I'm not racing to pay the bills. I like making my little YouTube videos, my little phone there, and just having fun. This is filmed on the GoPro 7, by the way. It's so smooth. The tech is so good. It used to be so rattly and shaky, and it's just amazing the tech we've got now. Feel very, very privileged. We've got a lot of privileges. Us YouTubers, it's fantastic. So I feel very blessed. This is Adelaide. This is January. This is Tour Down Under. This is the Tour Down Under series with durianrider. If you have any requests or any questions, hit me up. I've been doing Tour Down Under for over 20 years now. It's been number 21, maybe even 22. I have to count it. So yeah, hit me up. Any questions? I'll see you in Adelaide, January. Tour Down Under. What a time for it. Peace.